My mom is a professional athlete, and during her professional career, and we don't have this gender issues because technology and medicals and all that was not that advanced. But I know that my mom would be pissed off to bitten by a transgendered person.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's the reason why we had a category for men race and woman race. Because we know if we put them together, women won't have a chance to win.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a professional athlete versus a average person. We're talking about both professional athletes in one field. You know how Bolt could run? So the records for the 100-meter race is 9 seconds 58, 58, I would say, like milliseconds. I think women's records is around 10.
Okay.
I don't think they break 10. I can't really remember. But I watch very many sports events and etc. So basically, except like certain race that woman and man compete together, for example, the horse, how do you say the horse riding competitions? Like you ride the horses.
Horse riding competitions.
It's called horse riding.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because you have the dance movement, etc. So normally, so this is a field that women and men don't categorize.
Yeah.
They compete together because basically it's horse competing with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of them, ping pong tennis, football, basketball, field and track and everything. You have a category of women and men because we recognize there's a physical distinguish between them that leads to different power. Because man in general is stronger, and woman in general is not that stronger. It's not saying that woman is not strong, but it's just in general, if you are not specifically trained woman, you cannot beat men. That's the truth. Physically, we are weaker, and that's why we have lady first rules or like a courtesy.
Not anymore. How dare you?
No.
Equality.
I always enjoy lady first. That's my privilege. I won't gonna break it because
you're not gonna give it away.
No, not gonna give it away. I enjoy people.
Hold on to it real hard.
I think it's a courtesy. I don't care because of course it's rooted in a discriminative way. Because we think woman is weaker. Yeah, in that case, because physically, yes. Not mentally, not intelligently, but just in general, physically, yes. Don't argue with me, because there are men that is weaker too. There is a woman that, they are stronger, they can open whatever things, But I'm just saying maybe average majority, like over 80% maybe. I'm not saying like 99%, like over 80% women in generally on the same height, same level, same age, same also on condition, they are weaker than the men if they are not specifically trained. Yeah? So it happens with athletes too. Men can easily beat a woman in terms of speed. That's why we have a woman race and a man race, and simple is that. And now you're sending a transgendered man. It doesn't matter what his hormone rate, like levels in his body, whatever he says doing the whole surgery or half of surgery, part of the surgeries. You admitted that his muscle was born stronger than the other one.
Yeah.
Finish.
I mean, speaking to what we just saw with the redhead.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would feel very devastated.
I feel devastated.
To be like, yo, I know how much I trained. I know how much my colleagues train. I know how much all the girls in this field are training, and then to see a person, let's be politically correct, to see a stranger who you did not see in the training room at all, like ever since you were born, because like athletes are training from like since they're kids, right?
Yeah.
You did not see this person ever, and then he wins by a long shot.
Yeah.
Like I get this girl so much, and it's depressing. I feel like it's depressing when I heard like. She said like, I don't know why I'm doing this anymore.
You see, there's the point. I always think, if you have to make a decision based on biological differences, you stick to that. So there's one thing that they all agree on: biologically, woman, man. Gender is another thing. I think the Olympic Games or any sort of sports game is based on sex, not based on gender.
Yeah.
So I don't really care if you see yourself a woman or not. We are talking about your genes, which you are a combination XX or you're a combination XY. This is what I'm talking about. This is the only reference that you should do when you categorize a woman race and a man race. And of course, because you have done a certain surgeries, so you used to be a man, your hormone levels drop because you're taking the female hormones, and you become like a female-friendly man, or you become a transgender woman.
Yeah.
And you participate in a transgender woman competition or a trans competition. We should, the Olympic Games should think, set a sample that you have a race in transgender man, transgender woman, man.
Yeah.
Because transgender man and transgender woman, they also have physical distinguish.
Yeah.
It's not like because they are born as a man, so when they transgendered in a woman, they shall be actually stronger than the woman transgender become a man.
Yeah.
Right? So you just set 4 categories. Or maybe you set another Olympic Games, Mr. Trans Olympic Games, that I think it's very inspirational.
Yeah.
Because they come back so many difficulties, so many hardships to become what they want.
Yeah.
And we should inspire those people to compete in another categories.
Yeah.
Don't mix up the category that we have now because it's based on sex. Yeah. And of course, if you acknowledge the fact that it's based on biological differences and don't mix it up.
Yeah.
Because transgender woman used to be a man and his sex and her sex is a man and finish that. Genetically
I agree.
See?
I agree. Like you either like do it all of the competition, not just the Olympics, right? All the competitions, all the professional competitions are like either binary or you just add 2 more.
You add
the trans competition,
I think we have the parallel.
I think it's only fair, right?
Yeah, we have the parallel Olympic Games, right?
With the disabled people.
They have for the 100-meter running different categories.
Yeah.
People are losing arms have like 1 categories. They have a code called like S120 something.
Yeah.
And people who lost their legs and another category. So basically for 100-meter male running, they already have like 6-7 categories. Women 6-7 categories.
Yeah.
We should do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do the same. Because apparently disabled people normally, if they are not specific trained, they cannot run as healthy people.
Yeah.
It's so apparently that's the reason we categorize like them in another game because they cannot compete with the healthy people because the chance of winning is almost like 0.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it with the disabled people, why can't you do with the transgender?
I think it's just because they're not enough.
Yeah,
players.
Of course, it's
so
it's a new phenomenon, of course, because the technology was just mature within the past decades or something.
I'm pretty sure in like 10, 15 years we're gonna see a trans exclusive. It's gonna have biological and gender male, the whole thing, male, female, woman, whatever. And then trans woman, trans man, and whatever the fuck is gonna be next,
Yeah.
I think that's only fair. Because it goes on with my point. Like, I really like, if I were a trans woman, because I can't be a trans man.
Yeah, you can only be a man. You can only be a trans woman.
So if I were to be, if I was like, okay, I'm a woman and I want to do like the operations and whatever, I want to compete with. Because I want to see how I compare with other peers of my own, like other people who went through this trans journey and like transformed their bodies and whatever, and let's see the capability of a transformed body. Let's see the performance of the transformed body
of human technology.
Yeah, I'm all down for that. Let's do it.
Actually, the same thing. I mean, seriously. And then you brought me another topic. You said you can only be trans woman, right? Because apparently, yes, there's a binary system. I was thinking maybe there's a person, he was born as a man. He also recognized him as a man, but he wants to have a boobs. He wants to have all the sex preference from both binary sexes, but he also don't recognize him as a man or woman. He want to be a man and a woman. it's funny, right? But it just happened to my man now. That's what are we gonna do with those?
I mean, with
is that he wants to have two in one. He doesn't want to be neither or either. He wants to be both.
But I'm like, my mind is blown right now. I'm like, you either make up your you know, like.
The question more complicated because there is a group of people they want to be either.
Or neither.
But there are people that want to be both.
I mean, you know the meme, like, why not both?
Yeah, I mean, the question is why not both? And then they maybe have a problem with man and woman because they are neither or they are either choice.
I mean, both actually both are in the intersex, like a natural occurrence.
Yeah, because there are people have like a genetic how to say like disorder and they have both boobs and the dick.
But those are natural.
Or maybe they have a vagina and then on top it's a man, so it's So, I think it's to have XXY or XYX or something like that. I read about in the scientific paper. Yeah, it's interesting, huh? Yeah. Just maybe they want to have both, just as a choice.
I mean, they go into the transgender competition.
But still, you was categorized like a trans.
Trans. Let's go trans.
Yeah, whatever.
Man, woman.
Yeah, they can be trans A and trans B and trans C.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the option of being like they recognize like not as a both.
Trans M, trans W, trans NW.
Yeah, well,
and then trans BMW.
Yeah. Everybody like German car music.
You know, like come on.
Yeah, I want to be trans Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, we also, by the topic, we're also, we are trapped in the concept of trans woman, trans man.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't want to be a woman or a man, or they want to be a woman and a man. We also neglect those two group of people, right?
Oh,
come on, we're always gonna find a new category in the same, and we're just so busy with the trans woman and man, and we ignore the other two groups.
Maybe they don't exist now. In 15 years, it's gonna be.
Maybe they are, just because
we're so like revolutionary. Yeah. We were actually like predicting the future, ladies and gentlemen, in this stream. Like, hello.
Yeah, but you see, they should be into another game, not with woman and man game.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I agree. Okay, let's continue on with Black Trans Lives Matter. Let's go.
And just by the way, I think white lives matter too, and Asian lives matter too. Just in general, lives matter. So, just my opinion.
They were going to race against the girls, and
this is.
You look at those individuals.
He's the director. He's a movie
against
director.
The men, against the boys, so they were kind of middle of the pack, and then they're racing the girls, and they're, first and second place. Is that indicative of some kind of unfair advantage that those individuals might have against the girls?
No, it's not indicative of unfair advantage.
Transgender man.
Kind of a proof of this is that more transgender girls are coming out in high school and still playing sports. And they're not winning. The Connecticut case is the exception. It got a lot of attention because those two trans girls performed well. But there are many more trans girls competing in sports, and they don't excel. Because at the end of the day, whether or not you win a game is about how hard you work in your practice, and most of us aren't going to win. And that goes for transgender athletes, too.
No.
Let's go, girls.
No, this is just crossing our very Yeah. He said they're all transgender girls or whatever that they didn't win. You know what? Because they're weak. That's finished. Not because this and that. It's just because they did. You see, there are also athletes, both the girls. Yeah. There's only one winner, but the chance of winning is distributed differently. Let's see, maybe your physical condition contribute 50% of your winning, and the actual 50% is based on practices. Or maybe the transgender girl that didn't win is because he's 50% strength.
Yeah.
Actually, she has like 60% strength because she used to be a man. So muscle, bone structure are more powerful than average girls, right? And she just practiced like 10%.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, this girl hires 90 and this 80. So 90 is more than 80, but does not mean that this 60%, 50% is going to be equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't. It's mathematical stuff. Oh, we also have transgender girls that didn't win. You know what? When he is a man, he competing a man, he also cannot win. That's simple like that because he's a loser.
I'm dying. I don't have anything to comment, so let's go.